Are you ready for this? What if I told you that most of what you see and hear about colon cancer is just wrong? It's not just a disease for old men, and that a diagnosis is far from a death sentence. In fact, with early detection, over 90% of people survive. So today, we're going to bust 8 of the most common myths about colon cancer, and one of them might just save your life. Hello everyone, and welcome to Elevating Cancer Treatment. I'm your host, Dr. Jay Chaplin, an immunologist whose passion lies in pioneering the next generation of drugs. A quick reminder, the information on this video is for education and should not be taken as medical advice. Every cancer is unique, so no advice applies to everyone. Always consult with your personal healthcare provider for guidance on your specific situation. All right, so on this channel, we tackle the complexities of cancer. We explain the science, dissect the science, there's often a lot of detail, and dispel the myths to help you navigate your health journey with clarity and confidence. So what sets me apart is that I'm actively involved in designing and developing the very drugs and treatments that are shaping the future of oncology. Medical doctors diagnose disease and prescribe drugs. Very valuable. Influencers spin cool, false stories about drugs that are totally oversimplified. I design and make new drugs. This hands-on experience gives me a unique understanding of how these therapies work at a molecular level, how they interact with the human body, and how to optimize their function. This gives me a really different perspective than most people, and I want to share that with you. So, if that sounds interesting to you, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. That way you get all of our updates. Finally, 2 quick things. First, as a thank you for being here, I've created a free resource, 10 things to elevate your chemo journey. And second, by signing up for that guide, you'll also get exclusive updates on the innovative new cancer treatment that I'm working on. The link for both is in the description. All right, take a moment, download your free guide, and join us in shaping the future of cancer treatment. So today, we're tackling a topic that touches more lives than you might think, colon cancer. And it's one of the most common cancers out there. There's a lot of information out there, but unfortunately much of it is misleading. That's why we're here to clear the air and debunk 8 common myths. 8. Let's get started. Myth number 1, colon cancer is a fatal disease. It can be, it often isn't. This is perhaps one of the most pervasive and disheartening myths, and it's simply not true. The fact is, with early detection, colorectal cancer is highly treatable and in many cases curable. It's a different thing, curing it. Many cases are curable. We're talking about a significant success rate here. Over 90% of individuals diagnosed with a localized cancer survive 5 years after their diagnosis. What's even more encouraging is that survival numbers are improving at a pace faster than they're being officially reported. This means that recovery is often more likely than what you might gather from the latest studies. However, this positive outlook hinges on one critical factor: early detection. Catching the disease in its initial stages dramatically increases the chances of successful treatment and a full recovery. This is why awareness and proactive screening are so vital. Myth number 2, you only need to get screened if you have symptoms. This myth is particularly dangerous because it can lead to delayed diagnoses, and as we just said, that's not in your interests. The reality is that colorectal cancer and its precancerous polyps often do not cause any noticeable symptoms in their early stages. This is precisely why colon cancer has earned the grim nickname, the silent killer. It can progress quietly, often reaching an advanced and much more challenging to treat stage before any symptoms become apparent. This is where screening tests are invaluable. These tests are designed to find and allow for the removal of polyps before they have a chance to develop into cancer, or to detect cancer at its very earliest and most treatable stages. Waiting for symptoms is a gamble you shouldn't take when it comes to colon cancer. Myth number 3, colon cancer only affects older white men, like me. This is a common misconception that can lead to a false sense of security for many. The truth is, colorectal cancer can affect people of any age, race, and gender. While it's still much more prevalent in older populations, that's true, there's a concerning trend emerging. Since the mid-1990s, cases among individuals under the age of 50 have increased by about 50%. While the overall percentage of cases in this younger demographic is still quite low, only around 1%, That rise is significant and it shouldn't be ignored. Furthermore, this rising trend has disproportionately affected certain groups. For instance, while people of all races can and do develop colorectal cancer at a young age, the spike has been predominantly observed in Alaskan Native, American Indian, and white individuals. So while African Americans are still more likely to be diagnosed with colorectal cancer at a young age, that gap is narrowing. This underscores the importance of awareness and screening for everyone, regardless of age, race, or gender. Myth number 4. You need a family history to get colon cancer. While having a family history of colon cancer certainly increases your risk, it is by no means a prerequisite for developing the disease. Many individuals diagnosed with colon cancer have zero family history of it whatsoever. This highlights that while genetics do play a role, environmental factors, lifestyle choices, and other unknown elements, along with spontaneous mutations, ones that you don't inherit, those also contribute very significantly to one's risk. Therefore, even if colon cancer doesn't run in your family, it's crucial to remain vigilant about screening and risk reduction strategies. All right, myth number 5. Inherited mutations guarantee colon cancer and are the main cause of it. This myth, the opposite of the previous one, often causes undue anxiety. While inherited mutations such as those associated with, prepare yourself for this, it's a mouthful, hereditary non-polyopsis colorectal cancer, or HNPCC, and familial adenomatous polyopsis, or FAP, do significantly increase the risk of colon cancer and can lead to an earlier average age of diagnosis, they are not guarantees of developing the disease. In fact, these inherited conditions are responsible for only about 10 to 20% of all the colorectal cancer cases. And to put it into perspective, even for individuals with HNPCC, only 55%, about half, are eventually diagnosed with colon cancer. This means that while genetic counseling and increased surveillance are crucial for those with these mutations, they don't dictate an inevitable outcome. Lifestyle and other factors still play a very significant role. It's not an automatic cancer sentence. Myth number 6. Colon cancer is caused by the gut microbiome. The role of bacteria in your gut for health and disease is a fascinating and rapidly evolving area of research. While there are indeed associations between certain gut bacteria and an increased or decreased risk of colon cancer, it's a massive oversimplification to say that the gut microbiome causes it or can prevent it. The gut microbiome is intricately interwoven with a complex interplay of other factors, including obesity and inflammation, which are deeply interrelated and constantly interacting with and influencing each other. It's difficult, if not impossible, to isolate one of these things as the sole cause. Instead, think of them as a dynamic trio where the imbalances in one can affect the others, and they collectively contribute to the risk of colon cancer. This holistic view is crucial for understanding the disease, because most probiotics don't get past the stomach, and even if they do, they don't tend to make any long-term difference without large and sustained changes in diet and habits. So the idea of some quick and easy fix is false, and there's nothing really you can do there for leverage. Okay, myth number 7. I can't do anything to reduce my risk of getting colon cancer. This myth can lead to a sense of helplessness, but it couldn't be further from the truth. The fact is, you have significant power to influence your risk of developing colorectal cancer through lifestyle choices, particularly dietary changes. These changes can make a large difference, not only in your chances of being diagnosed with colorectal cancer, but also in its recurrence after treatment. While processed red meat is often the most commonly discussed dietary risk factor, it increases your chances of colon cancer maybe 20%, maybe 50%, depending on what you trust. Emerging data suggests that high sugar and high insulin load diets, especially those involved with sugar-sweetened beverages, may have a much higher impact on risk, in some cases doubling your risk. What's more, the increased risk from sugary beverages appears to be independent of obesity. This highlights the importance of a balanced diet rich in whole foods and low in processed sugars, particularly sugary beverages, as a powerful tool in preventing colon cancer. Myth number 8. Colonoscopies are painful and unpleasant, and they're the only way to screen for colon cancer. So this myth often deters people from getting a potentially life-saving screening. Let's address the discomfort first. Patients undergoing a colonoscopy are typically given sedation during the procedure. This means that they generally don't feel discomfort or pain. I didn't when I had mine. Most people, like myself, wake up with no memory of the procedure. In my case, it was just my wife by the bedside recording me, hoping that I would say something silly as I came out of anesthesia. Furthermore, the idea that colonoscopies are the only way to screen for colon cancer is also a myth. While colonoscopies are the gold standard because they have the ability to both detect and remove polyps, there are multiple other screening methods available. These include stool DNA tests and CT colonography. The best option for you can and should be discussed with your doctor, who can help you choose a screening method that aligns with your individual risk factors and your preferences. The key is to get screened, not necessarily to undergo one specific type of screening. Okay, so there you have it. We've covered a ton of ground today, a little surface, but a ton of ground, debunking 8 common myths about colon cancer. Some were probably what you expected, and hopefully something surprised you, something was new. Especially that one about sugary drinks. That is recently breaking research. The most important takeaway is this: awareness and early detection are your strongest allies in the fight against colon cancer. Don't let misconceptions prevent you from taking steps for your health. All right. Beyond these videos, if you need a deeper dive into specific treatments or help with medical advocacy, I offer one-on-one sessions to get into details. I'm also developing a video series to break down each and every drug and treatment, including radiation and surgery recovery, in detail with interferences and optimizations. You can find information on those resources linked below. So, after watching this video, what's one proactive step you plan to take for your colon health? If you're willing, let us know in the comments. And again, if this video brought you some clarity, please like, share, and subscribe for more science-based cancer insights. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.